reminds me of that time.
Ask away. Of course.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
I need to set an audience with the new king.
News of the hour. Lord Balin victorious. Lord Harrowmont arrested and ridiculed in the streets.
I've been hoping you'd return to Orzammar. Oh, I have so much to tell you. The other houses repaid their debts to my house, and I had enough money to send an expedition into our old Tig. We found so many things. I kept some for you. I said I'd repay you, didn't I? I could never fully repay what you've done for me. But this is a start, I hope. Walk well, and may fortune always smile on you, Grey Warden.
News of the hour. Supporters of disgraced Lord Harrowmont take to the streets. Pandemonium increases by 10%.
I would not have voted for Balin, but I trust my mother's judgment.
Have you seen my lunch? It's a piece of lichen bread with a spread of old cheese and shredded dried meat. I'm only asking because you never know who's going to get hungry. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I worked the ore myself.
Did you hear? Andraste's ashes have been found, here in Ferelden too.
Mother Volin said that's just some hoax.
Mother Vorling is a half-blind old cow. Everyone knows Andraste came from Ferelden. It makes sense they'd bring her ashes back here.
Those ashes are so old they'd be dust by now. I don't believe any of it.
I'm sure you need supply. I'm sure you need supply.
What say you? I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further. What say you? By all means.
Looking for little old me? Yes? What's on your... Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from... Which one? It will come to you soon, I'm sure. Chantry Law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinter Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
What do you want? Aye, people talking when I'm trying to have a sodden quiet moment. That really twists my nut. Did you want to talk about something? What about? All right. Aye, all right then.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old? It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago. The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of Darkspawn, with the Archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching Darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the Archdemon was dead and the last Darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
We will make good use of what you have brought us, Warden.
Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium.
What is your wish, Kadan? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move. I am hardly surprised. To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are. Very well. As you wish.
I am listening. It doesn't have better things to do. I did not think it needed to be said. It has never told me what gender it is, has it? Good for it. I am sure that to other creatures as soft and weak as itself, that would be perfectly obvious. The truth is that whatever gender I was is irrelevant now. I am a golem. I have no gender. It will not become an issue. Right. I catch it staring at my behind, and I will feel very awkward. Now, let us crush something soft and watch it fountain blood. That is a girlish thing to want to do, yes?
I heard rumors that Redcliffe was once again open for business, but my word, isn't this amazing? Such bustle. The Earl has kindly offered my son and I lodgings in exchange for supplies. I'm happy to help him. And you too, of course. If you have need of my wares, you have but to ask. Of all the strange news, everyone is talking about some brother in Denerim claiming that the urn of sacred ashes has been found. Actually found. I understand the Chantry is a bit skeptical and probably won't get a chance to deal with the brother's claim until after the war has ended. But it's incredible even so, don't you think? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. It's not just Darkspawn and the Horde, you know that? There are people with them. Folks who are sick with the Blight, and their minds are all twisted and mad. I heard tell of a man meeting his own brother on the field, yet when he called out to him, his brother didn't even recognize him and just attacked. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. With a defeat at Ostagar, it'll be inevitable that the Darkspawn hordes start moving north soon. They have no one standing in their way, do they? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. There's wonderful news. Arl Eamon has been cured of his strange illness, and not only is he better, but he's also called the nobility to Denerim to settle the succession. Seems he's found some unknown son of Merrick's, of all things, and he says he should be the rightful king. I just hope they finally get to fighting the Darkspawn. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. Many folks are uncertain about this bastard son of Merrick's being chosen for the throne. Let us hope that Merrick's blood is strong within this Alistair. He will need it. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. Many are saddened by the news of Tyrn Logain's death. Despite what he's done, he's still the man who freed Ferelden from the Orlesians with King Merrick. Nobody will forget that. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. There's a rumor going around that Tyrn Logain was being paid by Tevinter slavers who were taking elves from the Denerim alienage. It can't be true. Why would Tyrn Logain do such a thing? The thought of slavers here in Ferelden? It seems almost barbaric. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Your desire? So, full of questions, are you?
You and your friends are formidable folk, and I'm sure...
It'll do, sure. I got a moment, sure. What about? All right. All right then. It'll do, sure. There you are. I was thinking, we've been through a lot together now. We're like old war buddies. So I figured why not invite you to share a drink, huh? A drink from my own stash, my family's recipe, and dedicated to my comrades in arms. Yes! The Warden steps up! You handled that like a champion, my friend. Most impressive. How do you feel? Oh no, the rest is for me. You'd need to do something really unspeakable to get into the rest of my stash. I just wanted to tell you, after all we've been through, you're like family to me. Closest thing I've had in years. Aye, a toast with a dry cup. You're not getting any more of my brew. So, do you want to talk about something? Aye, all right then. Right here, old pal. What about? Aye, I do. A bit. A little bit. guess we're all a bunch of whimpering softies in the end. Anyhow, let's keep moving. If anyone finds out I was getting all mopey, I'd lose my reputation. You have a lot of nerve coming here. Problem? Oh, I got a problem with your face. You keep it up and I'll fight you. I don't even care that you're some kind of wool-gnawing poetess. Your disguise can't fool me, woman. That's right. You keep looking at me like that, I'll just go get my pants from that sodding dog. Right here, old pal. What about? All right. All right then.